finishyourdiploma.org.
Maybe it's
Brought
not
to you by
on.
the Dollar
Well,
General
yeah, I know it
Literacy
is. I
Foundation
know it
and the
is.
Ad Council.
Oh, this is Robert Pilot of
If it's
Native
not
Roots
in
Radio.
there, that's
On
a
our show, we
mistake.
share stories from Turtle
Maybe it is.
Island,
Maybe I missed
highlighting
it.
the people
I
and
may have been
issues
the one with
shaping
the
No,
our
I'm about to
state.
say that.
From protecting water to treaty rights and preserving
I know, I'm
languages
saying
and
it.
traditions. We cover it all.
Anyway,
Hear
hello,
voices
everybody.
Like Arvina
Hello,
Martin of
everybody.
Merge, Wisconsin, Dr. Stately,
Big show
Robert
today.
Milligan,
Big show.
and
About
more.
30 seconds
Because-
before we kick off our first show of November.
From the Civic Media World Headquarters in Madison, Wisconsin, it's the Todd Allbaugh Show. And now, pursuing truth wherever it may lead, here's your host, Todd Allbaugh.
Ross, Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network and streaming worldwide on the Civic Media app. Good afternoon, everybody. Todd Allbaugh, along with Mr. Aaron Zummers, our producer and engineer. It is Monday, October 3rd, 2025. It is a great day to be a Wisconsinite. Welcome in, everybody, to the world headquarters of Civic Media, downtown Madison, the intersection of State and Fairchild Street on a picture-perfect Zummers. Let's take a look at the old Sam Davidson Street cam right out of the gate. Look at that. Now, you can't look at those people enjoying life down there on State Street. You can't really see if those watching the stream, Facebook, YouTube, because the way the sun is still so low right now. But there is not a cloud in the sky in downtown Madison. Not a cloud. You understand? Blue skies. And I don't care whether you're a man, woman, boy, whatever you are. Get outside. Well, you know, I'm too tired. Forget about it. Well, I got to put my coat on. Forget about it.
It'll energize you.
If you have not stuck your nose out the door, put a wrap on, put a coat, put a pair of house slippers. My grandpa always used to call them house slippers. I mean, like, I'm not sure if there's any other kind of slipper. Put your house slippers on and go out, because it's one of those days. And let me tell you, I've seen the forecast. And by the end of the week, if you don't get out today, tomorrow, or Wednesday, you're going to be saying, geez, I should have listened to Todd, because this is it. After this week, it's going to get cold, nasty, temperatures, daytime highs in the 30s, snow, wind, all that stuff. It's on its way. And so this is it, folks. This is what we live in Wisconsin for, these picture-perfect fall days. Zommers and I walked around the square earlier this afternoon. It's great out, Zommers.
Yes, this is one of those sweet spot days in fall, for me at least, where it's energizing to be outside because it's not frigid, but it's cool enough that you can wear a jacket, maybe a windbreaker because it's a little windy. But, you know, if you need to cool down, then you can take it off and let the wind get you. And as long as you have some sunglasses, it's perfect outside.
It's what Elmer Childress, the former chief meteorologist at NBC 15, used to call cool. It's cool. It could be a cool day.
That is not wrong.
I know. It's fantastic out. So get out and enjoy it. Thanks for joining us to kick off the week back to school and back to work on this Monday. Zommers, we're into November, for goodness sakes. Into November. Can you believe it?
I can, but it's going so fast.
It's going quickly. Hope you had a great weekend. I got a chance to relax a little bit. Mom and I hung out on Saturday, so that was nice to see her. And although I caught up on a little laundry. That's always good. And yes, watch both some baseball and some football over the weekend. Stay tuned at the bottom of this hour. Our friend, our colleague, the host of Matt Nair on Air with her co-host Greg Bach, Ms. Jane Matt Nair, is going to be here live and in person. Well, she'll be at her house live and in person. She'll be joining us via StreamYard. Big announcement from Jane today. She will expand upon that at the bottom of the hour, and we'll talk some headlines as well with Jane and find out what's happening down there in beautiful Milwaukee. Find out what she did this weekend.
I look forward to it.
Now, you, Zommers, you did yeoman's work, double duty. You did our show on Friday, and then you were forced to stay into the afternoon and do Schwaba's show, Nightlife with Pete Schwaba. I did not get to listen. I was otherwise tied up, but not in a good way. but I heard it went well.
Yeah, it was a good show. And just for the record, I'm never forced to work on Pete's show. It is a blessing every time.
Right? Halloween show. Did you have a lot of fun?
Yeah, it was fun. Pete was dressed up as a prisoner, straight out of the
Really?
federal penitentiary in like the 50s. You know, the black and white stripes. They just don't do prison fashion anymore the way
really
they used to.
No, not at all. That's fantastic. Now you and then you with your busy social calendar, you had a Halloween party to go to, a Halloween party, and now did you make it on time? And how was it?
No, but good. I made it. It was starting to wind down a little bit, which is to be expected because the people hosting are new parents.
That's right.
But then I got to go back over there the next day and spend some time with them and their little kiddo, 8 weeks old now.
Oh, that's cool. I did not know this until I was listening to Matt Nair on Air this morning. Our very own news director, Shelly Pittman, is a regular guest on that program. I grew up Richland Center. I get back there frequently. In fact, we're doing the show there this coming Friday from WRCE. It was news to me from Shelly that Richland Center hosted a rave in the old Frank Lloyd Wright warehouse in Richland Center over the weekend. And reports are it was spectacular. And she said, and this is a big shout out to my former art teacher, Jane Kins, who's been on this program, who I'm sure had something to do with this. Shelly said the lighting, just the mood, the lighting in the old Frank Lloyd Wright warehouse in Richland Center was spectacular for this Halloween rave. So I hope everybody had a safe and happy Halloween. By the way, next time he's on, our friend and ongoing contributor Brady Ewing, he and his wife Rachel took their 4 boys trick-or-treating to Mom's house, and I'll ask if we can share a photo. Rachel, his wife, made these Halloween costumes, and the boys were a fox, wolves, and coyotes, and some of the best stuff I have ever seen. No lie. That's what Halloween's about: dressing up, having some good old-fashioned fun. So I hope you all had a good time. I did not dress up. As we said, I had a costume. I decided it would irritate too many of our political listeners, so I just said, I don't need it. You understand, I don't need the tricks on Halloween. So I chilled out. Saw Mom on Friday, or on Saturday, rather. But big weekend in terms of sports. First of all, did you watch the World Series, Summers?
I did.
I saw most of the 6th and all of Game 7. I was cheering for the Blue Jays. They should have won.
Yeah.
The kid, now I can't say his name, from Marshfield, Wisconsin. And he plays for the Blue Jays. And Versho, I believe that's his name, Versho. And he was up to in the 9th.
Yeah, Dalton Varsho.
That's it. Dalton Varsho. And he got an infield blooper, basically, or a grounder, I should say. And the Dodger he bobbled it a little bit, and he threw it to the plate, and they had to look at the replay because it was bases loaded, and the Blue Jays slid across the plate, and it was the cleat, not the shoe, but the cleat on the catcher for the Dodgers that touched the plate a millisecond before the Blue Jay player slid across, and he was out. And if the guy had just gotten a better lead at third and maybe he had run instead of slid, would have been, could have been, should have been. But it went into the 11th inning, and the dirty Dodgers pulled it out.
I was really hoping to see anybody pull one over the Dodgers.
I know.
But
I was not happy about this. I'll tell you who else was not happy. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the star player for the Milwaukee Bucks, who, of course, owns a share of the Milwaukee Brewers. He was asked over the weekend, Giannis was, what he thought of the Dodgers winning the World Series.
No, I don't like the Dodgers. They beat my Brewers.
Quick, simple, to the point, and he's right.
I love that in his marvelous accent. No, I don't like the Dodgers. They beat my Brewers. We got to save that. When we talk about the Dodgers, we'll play. So I couldn't agree with Giannis more. That was no good at all. But I guess, at the end of the day, the Dodgers played more fundamental baseball than the Blue Jays did. So that was that. Badger football, thank goodness, they didn't play this weekend. They didn't lose. That was good. And then you had the Packers yesterday. Carolina Panthers come to town, to Lambeau Field, and the Packers, remember, we can't play the cut. I think Clemens had maybe the abbreviated cut on, I think it was on Friday, on Halloween. Matt LaFleur, head coach of the Packers, asked something about, well, are you guys doing anything for Halloween or whatever? And LaFleur looked at the camera. He said, I'll clean it up for radio. He said, I couldn't give a crap that it's Halloween.
It was pretty funny.
And now we know why. He was looking at tape, and he figured out that they were going to have all they could handle with the Panthers. I believe the Panthers were a 2-touchdown underdog coming into Green Bay, and the Packers lost. Another missed field goal by their kicker, by the way. Bring back Haversick. I want the substitute teacher. Enough of this other guy. I want Haversick in there full time. But Packers fall at home to the Carolina Panthers, and the Bears come back and get a big win. The Vikings win. Suddenly, the North is up for grabs. So, look, I'm not panicking too much about the Packers, but just annoying. And maybe the biggest news, and this is Coach Matt LaFleur asked yesterday after the game, star running back Tucker Kraft went down with a knee injury, and Coach LaFleur, courtesy of our very own great sports reporter, Mike Clemens, who was there and gave us all the details. Clemens was in the room and asked LaFleur about Tucker Kraft.
Is Tucker's injury serious?
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
How do you overcome him?
It's going to be tough. It is but it's football, and the other guys are going to have to step up.
Matt LaFleur, head coach of the Green Bay Packers, and about an hour and a half ago, it was confirmed by the Packers that Tucker Kraft indeed has a torn ACL, and he is out for the year. So
That's rough.
Really rough when it comes to Tucker Kraft and the Packers. I mean, he was off to a spectacular season. So hopefully the Pack can get it back on track. The Badger men's basketball team kicks off their regular season tonight at 7 o'clock. And now I guess, I don't know, I guess they're not on the radio. I'm looking at the actual Wisconsin Badger Twitter feed here, and it's on Big Ten Plus television tonight. But they do not list any radio, which I thought all the regular season games were on our Badger Radio Network, but maybe not. Anyway, at 7 o'clock tonight, the always tough Campbell Camels are in town.
It will be on tonight on WLAK and WRCE and WFHR. 6:30 p.m. broadcast start.
Thank you very much, Summers. Always on top of it. Look at that. So you can hear that on some of our selects. If you're not in one of those stations, download the Civic Media app today, and you can listen for free over the Civic Media app to that as well. So pregame show, 6:30 with Matt LePay and Brian Butch. 7 o'clock tip-off from the Cole, the Campbell Camels. I'm hoping they bring an actual camel.
We can only hope.
Wouldn't it be fantastic?
It would. Or even just like a giant fake camel.
Right. I'm excited for the Badger basketball season. I think they're going to surprise some people, and they're always a little bit underestimated. So we shall see about that. Here's people who know me. People who know me understand that Saturday night was my favorite night of the year. Sunday morning, my favorite, because it was the end of daylight saving time. And we returned to standard. I got my hour of sleep back. And here now, from the great NBC series Cheers, it brings back when Cliff and Norm were at the bar and they were leaving, and Woody reminded them that it was the end of daylight saving time.
Closing time. It's hard to believe 17 hours could slip by that quickly.
Guys, don't forget, tonight's the night we go off daylight savings time. Be sure to change your clocks.
2 o'clock now, so which way does it go?
Let's spring forward, fall back, Mr. Peterson.
All right, so it's 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. Set him up, Sammy. I was this close to going home.
I was this close to going home. They got another hour at the bar. I was not in the bar on Saturday night. I got my hour back in bed. I woke up early. I'm good for about 2-3 weeks now. I'll be on top of it.
Oh, I slept too much, and now it's the opposite problem.
Gonna come back here from Hall of Famer Joe Thomas of the Badgers, who is now a beef farmer with Hall of Fame beef. Joe Thomas speaks out about what's going on with beef prices and Trump after this.
devastation your car presets warned you about.
The Communist Control Act of 1954, it's pertinent to the fight we're in. It's a tool that needs to be utilized, and they need to support the president in obtaining that objective.
Is Joe Gigante right? Does a U.S. law ban the Communist Party? Yes. The 1954 Communist Control Act bans the Communist Party, labeling it a conspiracy to overthrow the U.S. government. Though rarely enforced and mostly repealed, it remains law. Harvard Law professor Mark Tushnet said it could still be applied. In June, Republicans urged President Donald Trump to use it against New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani, a Democratic socialist. I'm Trisha Young for Wisconsin Watch. Fact briefs are bite-sized fact checks of trending claims produced by Wisconsin Watch.
And if you don't like
GigaFact.
fact briefs,
read more at
try fact
wisconsinwatch.org.
Well, it's a shame they don't have fact boxer briefs because really
Right.
the middle ground
it's
is
really
where it's
the
at.
middle ground. Yeah. 6-7.
Saturday mornings at the farmer's market.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you used that correctly.
I think so. I think I did.
This is a newsworthy moment.
It's a Madison institution, like Saturday Badger games, Tuesday City Council meetings, and your drive with 92.7 WMDX. We're part of the rhythm that makes Madison home. Real news and great conversation. WMDX.
As a fellow military veteran, I relied on my team to get through very difficult missions. We had each other's back and supported our teammates through thick and thin. If you find yourself struggling to make it another day or know someone who is, reach out. Support is at reachoutwis.org.
Paid for by Advancing a Healthier Wisconsin Endowment with support by the Medical College of Wisconsin, the War Memorial Center, and reachoutwis.org.
Being blind doesn't look how others may think.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. I know where to find support.
Learn more at Fighting Blindness.
Pursuing truth wherever it may lead and having fun doing it. Welcome back to the Todd Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network. 22 now, past the hour of 3 o'clock on Monday, November 3rd, 2025. Aaron Zommers on the board. Appreciate him as always, as you as well, joining us here to the start of another great week. Coming up after the bottom of the hour farm news, Jane Matnair is going to be here. She is the host of Matnair on Air, along with her co-host Greg Bach. Made a big announcement today. And I'm not really sure whether it was newsworthy or not to go on the air to announce she was getting new drapes. But, hey, she can do her. So she'll be here and expand on her big announcement this morning.
You know, if you get custom drapes for
Right?
your home,
Yeah, all right.
it's exciting.
There's the electronic drapes that go up and down. Maybe she got some of those. So anyway, Jane will be in and expand a little bit on her announcement this morning. And we'll, kick around whatever else we feel like. It's really my opportunity to catch up with my friend, and I just let you all here, spend some time with us.
And we're happy to be here.
I appreciate that. Happy also to play this for you. This little news last week talked about Argentina and Argentinian beef. Donald Trump stating on Air Force One that in order to bring U.S. beef prices down, he was going to flood the market with Argentinian beef. And we heard from our friend David Umbihan, beef farmer in Richland County, from his combine last week. He knows this, does every day, and he's like, this just doesn't add up. That's not the way you deal with this. And you're going to undercut beef producers if you flood the market with Argentinian beef. Well, here now, Joe Thomas. I put his hat on during the break there, Six Springs Farm. We did the show out there. Of course, he has Hall of Fame beef. Former Badger great Joe Thomas, former Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. Look, this is not a guy that gets into deep partisan politics, and he's still not. But I think it's notable for a guy who really watches how much he publicly gets involved with politics, for him to sit down and put out this statement from Six Springs Hall of Fame beef over the weekend. This says something. This is Joe Thomas speaking out on Trump's policy on Argentinian beef.
Hey, what's up, guys? Joe Thomas here, former NFL lineman, and now I'm a beef farmer in Wisconsin, and I'm the founder of Hall of Fame Beef. And I just got finished cleaning up the garden for the fall and putting it away and putting it to bed for the winter. And it gives you a lot of good time to think. And so when I was doing my garden thinking time, I was thinking a lot about the news here recently of the foreign beef that President Trump wants to be able to import into the United States and drive prices of beef down here. So here is my zero emotion, unbiased take on those comments from President Trump on wanting to be able to flood the market in the U.S. with foreign beef and drive those prices down. So first off, the high prices you're seeing right now at the grocery store and at your butcher shop, they're not about greed. They're about supply and demand. So for a lot of years, cattle prices were just too low here for most family farmers to make a living here in the United States. And that forced thousands of family farmers to have to sell out or shut down altogether. When that happens, those families, they're not passing that farm down to their kids because their kids are going to move on to do something else. And what did that result in? Well, now we have the smallest U.S. cattle herd in 75 years. So with fewer family farms, that means there's going to be fewer cattle. And that's exactly why right now beef prices are high today. So if you try to manipulate the U.S. market by bringing in cheaper foreign beef, that's a huge flaw, and it actually runs counter to the intent of what you're trying to do, because it's going to make beef cheaper for the short run in a few months, but in the long run, it's going to make everything worse off. Because what it's going to do, it's going to squeeze out the family farmers. It's going to push more of the power of the cattle business into the hands of the massive corporate operations and the few big four slaughterhouses. It's going to give consumers even less choice, and the beef quality is going to go down. Yes, prices are going to be lower, but so is the quality. And so if prices are too low for a long time, ranchers are going to quit, which means in a few years, we'll have even fewer cattle and higher prices. So remember, this is a market economy we live in here in the United States. Supply and demand isn't some fake news that you heard about in 8th grade economics class. So the solution isn't just a quick fix. We got to be thinking about sustainability. We need fair, market-driven prices that can keep small and mid-sized family farms alive. And we can reward the people that are raising the beef the right way, with care, quality, and pride. And I'm new to the Hall of Fame beef cattle business. I'm new to farming. It just started raising beef in 2018, but it's really become a passion of me and my family. And I really care deeply about the farming community that I live and I work in Boscobel, Wisconsin, and the hardworking Americans all across the country in farming and ranching in the beef and agriculture business. And I think that keeping American beef in the hands of family farmers who believe in doing things the right way and not manipulating markets in the short term to be able to drive prices down and make the customers and consumers feel good for a short period of time, that's not the path forward. It's not going to work. It's going to actually be counter to what we want to have done, because there are no shortcuts in agriculture. There's no shortcuts when you're dealing with markets. And you know what? As a family farmer, we never look for easy. We just always want to do the right thing. This is not the right thing.
Former Badger and Pro Football Hall of Famer and now owner of Six Springs Hall of Fame beef, Joe Thomas. So many great things I like about that cut. About he has the ability, unlike me, a lot of times, to not be emotional and just say, look, I'm not coming at this from a partisan or I'm just putting down the lay of the land here as someone who's been raising beef from 2018. And the other part that we, of course, discovered when we spent a couple of hours with him doing the show out there, it was remarkable for a guy who grew up in Brookfield, Wisconsin, who has adopted Southwest Wisconsin as kind of his new home, how much he's invested, not just in himself, but in the agriculture industry, in the beef industry in rural Wisconsin. Here's a guy that just wants to do the right thing, and I appreciate Joe speaking out clearly, without emotion, and factually. Speaking of facts, come on back. We'll get the facts from Jane Matnera on her big announcement today and kick around a little politics, as she might say. First, Pam Yonke and the Midwest Farm Report.
2.7 WMDX, helping to keep Madison weird. Local news, real voices, and conversations.
There she is.
Hello, my friend.
Miss America.
Oh, yeah.
Ba, ba, ba.
It is day number 33 of the federal government shutdown, and just like you,
I want credit, by the way, because it's just like now, if you don't wish somebody a happy birthday on Facebook, then you haven't really done it. So you got to get your credit for your electronic. So I want you to know, I was the one who texted in, and Greg left my name. I'm like, I don't get any credit now.
I saw that too, and I knew it was you. So thank you for that, my dear. That was very, very nice.
I thought it was well done, and as always, perfectly handled. So.
Oh, well, thank you. I thought the piece de resistance for me was Dan Schaefer, of course, from Recombobulation Area, Civic Media's political editor, gave us a big goose on social media before the show today.
Yes.
And we had over 300 people on the live stream, which is rare.
Wow.
That's Dan Schaefer.
That's great.
But Dan had said, celebrate with Jane, 44 years. And a guy replied, never heard of her. Which to me is perfect. My mother would have said that. She would. My mother would have said, that's great, Jane. Don't let it go to your head. So thank you to that guy for stepping in as my mother. It was perfect. It was just perfect. Oh, did I laugh?
Yep. And reminds me when Dale was in the legislature, there was a guy from, I think it was Wisconsin Rapids. Judas Priest, Todd. Now I can't say his name. I guess it doesn't matter. Anyway, he was a real character. I think he was one of those really conservative Dems back in the day. From Adams County or somewhere up there. And one of his famous quotes was, when people would say, oh, you're doing great, or must be great to be in the assembly and all that. He'd say, well, today a peacock, tomorrow a feather duster.
That's perfect. That sums it all up right there. Absolutely. And I'm fighting something. Apparently, I'm literally becoming allergic to work. I got home.
How do
and
I
took
catch
my,
that?
I
Can we
took
spend more time together? Go ahead.
I took my temperature when I got home, and it's like 99.9.
Oh, Jane.
It's just one of those low. I know it's one of those low-grade fevers. So I'm fighting something, and I don't quite know what it is.
I'm sorry.
But that's called Theraflu and brandy. So. Wisconsin.
Is that the recipe for a Wisconsin old fashioned?
It's very
medicine.
sick. Yes, when you're sick, it's Theraflu and brandy is the Wisconsin old fashioned.
That is beautiful. Well, I'm sure you're feeling under the weather. That's no good.
Yeah, I woke up about midnight freezing. I was freezing. Yeah, it was crazy. So I'm fighting something, but
well, get out after this. Just crawl into bed or something. I don't know.
I did before I jumped on with you, and I couldn't fall asleep. So we'll give it another try.
All right. A little more brandy. I don't know, something. It's medicinal purposes only. You understand?
It's a Wisconsin tradition, you guys. Come on.
100%. All right, so we'll give you the mic to say whatever you want to say, and then we can talk a little bit about the 60 Minutes interview last night. I'm looking forward to your take on. Yes, I mean the things that you and Greg talked about. Yes, but also, and we've tried to talk about some of the stuff on this show, which is the whole backstory that I think people that aren't in media don't get, which is this takeover of CBS and the traditions at 60 Minutes. And yes, we can talk about it on the air. My personal take is that it was edited up front to make it look like Nora was really being, aggressive, and then on the back end, not so much.
That's how I felt as well.
I'm going to have to sue because I feel personally offended by this.
All right, here we go. now, past the hour of 2 o'clock on Monday, November 3rd, 2025. Zommers on the board. Glad to have you along here to start your work week and back to school with us. Our first guest, longtime broadcaster in the state of Wisconsin, our friend and colleague, our traveling companion. She is the host of Matt Nair on Air every morning on this network from 9 until 11, along with her co-host, Greg Bach. She is coming to us live from the beautiful Milwaukee area, the one, the only, Jane Matt Nair. Jane, how the heck are you?
I am wonderful, my friend. Good to see you. And
You're also kind of lying because you made the effort. You're feeling a little under the weather.
I'm fine. I have a low grade fever of about 99.7, so something is fighting me, but that's all right. I have the Wisconsin remedy of Theraflu and brandy. So my Dr. Oz says it's really good.
Dr. Oz.
Because that's where I get all my medical information from, and him and Bob Jr. So yeah, they said it's fine.
Now look, I don't want to steal your thunder here, but I'm kind of going to do that because I know you made a big announcement this morning, but I had the insight on this before. Zommers, we have an audio clip of what was going on. Jane announced this morning what she did this weekend, and it turns out that she was in Florida. She was the girl in the glass at Mar-a-Lago. Let's go. Here we go, Zommers. You can't see the video. Well, there's a big, what looks to be a glass champagne and a girl in a glass in a scantily clad sequin bikini. Jane Matt Nair.
Well, and I'm shocked that you pinned me on that because most people didn't recognize that. Of course, that is the outfit I wear every day on the show. It's just kind of the uniform, as one does. Yeah, what a great idea on the eve of people losing food benefits, people who struggle, people who work for major corporations that are really struggling like Walmart. Yes, their food benefits are going to run out. So let's have a great Gatsby-themed party at Mar-a-Lago. What could be better than that?
It was just ridiculous. And the lack of awareness. I guess we shouldn't be surprised anymore.
No.
But I was just... Anyway, maybe we'll get to that, back to that in a minute. But first, in all seriousness, you did make a big announcement this morning. For those that might not have heard it, for whatever reason, Jane, the mic is yours.
After 44 years and 3 years with Civic Media and almost 2 years as host of my own show, Matt Nair on Air, I am retiring in December. And my final show will be on December 12th. I am so grateful and so honored to be able to wrap up my career at Civic Media, working with you, working with Zommers and Greg and Calvin and so many people here at Civic Media. The best in the biz, And I'm just so immensely proud of the work that we do as a network and will continue to do. And I couldn't be happier. And I couldn't be happier again to wrap things up with Civic and the fact that they let me.
The only reason I'm not a complete puddle right now, you've seen me. I was, because I had a little insight into this. I knew this was coming. So my take isn't quite as emotional as it was a month ago or so ago. But listening to you and Greg, I thought you just did it with class as you do everything. And I just want to thank you for your mentorship and everything you've done for me personally, for this network. And as someone whose grandmother was a person who broke glass ceilings in education, you've done the same thing in broadcasting for people like my nieces and women in particular to be an example for. And that should not go unnoticed and thanked. And so I know we have time left. You're not officially signing off for another month and a couple of weeks or so, but thank you.
Well, that is so lovely of you, Todd. Thank you. And I stand on the shoulders of Bobbin, who came in before me. And for folks who are from southeastern Wisconsin, and particularly the Milwaukee area, know that in the late 70s, Bobbin was one of the first female voices in the Milwaukee area on the radio, because you just didn't hear women on the radio. And so she was the cool night chick from 7 to midnight, and that's what I wanted to be. Unfortunately, I am neither of those things. I am not cool or a night chick or a rock chick or any of those things. And but it's women like that who opened the door for me and made me think I might be able to actually do that and make a life out of it. And here we go. Here I am, and I have. And so I say thank you to all the people who welcomed me into their homes and their kitchens and their bathrooms and their cars and the barn. And we've had calls from all over the place, all over the state, all over the country when it came to the Pack Arena, which we're going to talk about probably the last week. But I'm so grateful, Todd, and I've been so very, very fortunate. I am a lucky, lucky person.
Our very own Terry Barr checking in on YouTube saying in all caps, "Thank you, Jane!" Exclamation point. That's a good summarization for it. Kurt in Madison, listening on WMDX, says, "Let her know, Jane, that the cream of mushroom soup is on its way." Now, I'm not sure if Kurt has your address or if he's sending that via FedEx. I don't know, but he claims that there's soup on the way.
He's going to share his recipe with me because we were talking about food. I am not a good cook. I'm an okay cook. I haven't poisoned anyone last couple months. And so, but the last time I tried to make cream of mushroom soup, it was gray. Food, as a rule, should not be gray.
Probably
so
not.
he emailed and said that he had a surefire cream of mushroom soup recipe, which I'm gonna take a shot at.
All right, Zommers.
Rick in Waukesha also called in, and he said thank you, for everything that you've done, and he really appreciates hearing you on the air. But he also said something that I imagine will make sense to you, but I wasn't exactly sure where it came from. He said the Victorian flush is the best flush.
I'm not sure what that means, but okay.
Flush
a Victorian flush, maybe a UK reference. I'm not sure.
I'll have to
whatever
think,
it means. Okay.
I'll have to think about that. Rick, can you clarify that? I'm old. Let's not forget. Pushing 66. That's kind of looming. I have a hard time remembering what we had for dinner last night.
I know,
so
right?
maybe a little clarification. But thank you for that.
Very nice. Well, again, Jane, I know we have. First of all, I know you said that this morning, but I just want to emphasize this is not a Paramount Plus Skydance CBS Jane's retiring, quote unquote. This was your choice. You're not being pushed out. I want to emphasize that.
I appreciate that, Todd. To clarify, for some people who will probably be really disappointed, but yes, no, this is my choice. And again, Civic and Sage and everybody knew when I first came on 3 years ago when I was producing for Kristen, and then about 2 years ago when they approached me about hosting my own show, I told them they've always known that by the time 65, 66, I was going to look to retire. So this isn't taking anyone by surprise. I'm not pulling a fast one, and they are not shoving me out the door. No. Sorry. Sorry.
to those few handful of disturbed people who might not be.
They're entitled to their opinion. That's just fine.
Look, as Johnny Carson used to say in terms of what's next, more to come. But I'll simply say this: I'm not letting you leave. So, I mean, I'm going to force you to come back on this program, whether you're a part of Civic Media or not.
Well, actually, I'm taking this microphone.
Oh, good.
By the way, management, I'm taking this microphone. So, yes, I will still be appearing on your program because I have a microphone.
That's great. Tom in Jackson, listening on WMDX in Madison, says, quote, "Hate to see you go, Jane," unquote. So there you go.
Thank you, Tom. It has been an unbelievable experience. It truly has. I'm the daughter of a small town mortician, and the things I've been able to do because of my job, the people I've been able to meet and talk to, and I said this morning, and I mean this very sincerely, all the people who have called over the years, Todd, and shared their stories about their struggles, their triumphs, their suggestions have enhanced my life so much. I cannot thank you enough for all of the things that you shared with me. Some painful things, some hilarious things, some embarrassing things. I'm so grateful to everyone who, again, for 44 years have been so gracious to me and so welcoming to me and so kind. It's remarkable. It's remarkable.
Well, it's been a great broadcasting career amongst your entire portfolio of your career, and certainly been fantastic the last 3 years. And there's more time left. Jane will be. Did you announce the final day, or are we keeping that kind of
December
a secret?
12th. December 12th will be my final broadcast. It's a Friday. We're going to have special guests. Greg has told me they've got some surprises for me. If you know me at all, I really love surprises.
I know she doesn't.
But he's promised me they will be good surprises.
All right.
So I will trust my partner. Greg is amazing.
He is.
And we have had so much fun. We've had so much fun together.
Well, we'll have more time to kind of reflect back on your career, Jane. I want to take a couple of minutes here to reflect back on last night. I don't know you and Greg talked about it this morning. I wasn't going to watch the 60 Minutes interview, Nora O'Donnell interviewing Donald Trump, but then I thought, well, I should be informed.
Sucker for pain.
The business that I'm in. And so I forced myself to watch it. And then, like you, I read the entire transcript of what it was. A 90-minute interview. About 20 minutes went on the air.
Oh, so they edited it. Yes.
Surprise, surprise.
Huh. I'm going to have to sue. That has harmed me personally that they edited his interview. I really, in all seriousness, encourage people to read the transcript.
Yeah.
Because when you're watching it, I think it is easy to write off how he pings from one thing to another. The man cannot follow a train of thought. He really can't. And they want to talk about Joe Biden's cognitive abilities. And I can say this about Trump going back several years. I've been encouraging people to read the transcripts because it's Looney Tunes.
Yeah, it is that. I'll grant you that. I mean, I'm no Dr. Lyerly or anybody else. I can't diagnose anybody. Do I think he has narcissism and other mental health conditions? Yes. And as someone who has a dad that has dementia, I don't believe he has dementia. And
I don't think he has dementia either, but I think he is having cognitive issues.
Right.
There are cognitive issues there.
What I thought I thought they edited it specifically to make it seem like Nora was being punchy and hold him to the punch. And then and I thought Trump comes across this interview on television, you know what? Pretty reasonable. Not a crazy guy, whatever. But then you look at what they cut out, which is when he was carried on and on about Biden. When he talked about, you alluded to it, the Trump lawsuit against CBS where he got a $16 million settlement.
Yep.
I think that was manipulated by producers. Nora, I don't know.
I think they should be sued. I think they
Jane
should be
needs
sued
a couple of bucks for retirement.
Selective editing. Come on, I have vacations to fund, you guys. Let's do something about this.
More on the way with Jane Matnier on the other side. It's the Allbaugh Show on Civic Media.
Catch Farm Report updates throughout the day from the Midwest Farm Report, right here on 92.7 WMDX.
When you're having computer problems, you need a company you trust to get things working again quickly and
$50 million and settle for
$500,000.
I think that would work. I could, if I struggled and budgeted. Unlike, see, I think our billionaires need someone to help them with money.
Yes, that really is what it comes down to.
I do. I don't think they know how to budget, and I think
the private equity firms need some help. Come on.
I'm going to be available, you guys. I'm going to have time
for a small talent fee.
Small percentage,
right?
I can be had.
Couple of $1 million bucks, she's yours.
0.01%. That's all you need.
Stretch of interstate highway in the city of Milwaukee and Milwaukee County. This is a massive project with an estimated
all you need is the 1% for the 1%ers, and you're good.
And with this official start date announced, also came estimates for how long this will take. Construction is expected to last last until 2033. At the Recombobulated
Oh,
series,
such nice
this
comments on
project is
the
something we've
text
covered
line.
extensively,
Yes, we're going to read
including
some of
with an
these.
award-winning
Oh, that's so
four-part
nice.
series called Expanding the Divide. It might be worth revisiting that series and
I'm going to be a
considering how
puddle of
unnecessary and
goo on that
expensive
last
an extra
day.
lane is, and how in southeastern Wisconsin we're going to be
Let's
dealing
not think
with
about that right
construction
now.
and delays for the next 8 years.
We got
in
weeks.
order
We
to
got
save
6
That's
weeks.
right.
2 minutes
We got
off
6 weeks.
suburban commute times.
We can fit another road trip in
That
there. I'm
sounds like
sure
you've been
it'll come
diagnosed
together.
or something. I
I'm
got
sure
6
it'll-
weeks.
And even with the heads up, when you were talking just now, I was fighting back tears.
I'm going to miss everybody so much. I really am.
We're going to miss you.
I'm glad we'll still be able to have you on.
That's the saving grace, is that it's not like I'll never have you back on the show or get to see you again. So that's the good part.
Multi-millionaires? We should pay more.
Because that would be sad.
Go to first 45
Or
That
sadder.
would also make me sad.
to learn more. A working class tax cut paid for by millionaires. That's an idea we can all agree on.
You want to feel important.
You want to be part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong.
We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We are normal people.
Is it
just
nice in
like you,
Milwaukee today,
but our
too? It's like a
part-time
picture-perfect
service
day.
Yeah,
and
it's a
National
beautiful
Guard
day.
means we get
It's
to be
a
more.
perfect fall day, actually. A little breezy,
We get the
but
chance to
we'll
stand
take it.
up and do something about it.
We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors.
From the lake shores of Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota.
The fertile fields of Indiana,
30 seconds.
Illinois,
Gracias.
and Iowa to the wide
We're on a great adventure. Don't know what we're gonna find when leaving what's behind, but you are by my side.
At last, a great adventure. Don't know where the road will bend or when we're gonna reach the end, so just enjoy the ride. Because no one gets a second time around. Sadly, no one gets a second time around.
Welcome back to the Todd Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network. 53 minutes now past the hour. That music, of course, from the great musical Kimberly Akimbo, A Great Adventure. It has been the honor of a lifetime to have a great adventure with my friend and colleague Jane Matnair. We've had the opportunity to travel around the state. For those watching on the stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter.
Nice slideshow.
We put up a few of those photos from our travels
Nice.
around the state. She joins us from her home in the greater Milwaukee area. Yeah, Jane, we had some great adventures, and hopefully maybe a couple more here before all is said and done.
Absolutely. That would be fantastic. I'm sure if we pick a place, we can pull it together in 6 weeks.
Well, you've got the clout to do that.
Oh, right.
Several of our listeners across the state texting in. I want to read some of these on Jane's announcement. She'll be retiring in December, and again, it is her decision. This is not a CBS retirement.
Yes, a happy decision.
Diane in Madison on MDX says, please tell her, Ms. Diane says, I will miss her voice and her input on life struggles. Ms. Diane from Madison.
Thank you, Diane.
Ray in Ray in Mickle Murray on WMDX says, I just heard that Jane Matnair is retiring. I will miss listening to her on the radio, but I wish her all the best in her retirement.
Thank you, Ray.
Tom in New Berlin on WAUK Milwaukee Waukesha says, thanks, Jane. You got 2 turntables and a microphone. I will miss you. All right. Well, there you go. Maybe he wants you to play some songs. I'm not sure.
I'm turntable low.
Mike,
I have.
Tom and Jackson MDX says, Jane, I hate to see you go. So all kinds
Thanks
of great
so much, everybody.
Well wishes. And
so nice.
We have 6-7 weeks left.
Just so folks know, too, I do save messages and I do save your emails. And I have a whole little folder that I've saved when I feel really badly about myself, and I go back to my folder and I read all your nice comments, and it has made my life so lovely. It really has. There was one we got. I asked Greg about this one. We got one a couple of weeks ago that was so nice, and I sat in my car and cried. Happy cry. It was good cry.
But I think you bring up a great point. You've basically been in this business twice as long as I have. But if you spend any amount of time in the business, it is, as you said this morning, it's kind of one-sided because we do a lot of talking out and we don't always receive a lot back in.
Yes.
And your point that you can't underestimate when someone just says, oh, I heard your show, or I like that guest. It's like, oh, wow, somebody actually is out there listening.
Yeah, it makes it does. It makes a big difference for all of us. You might think that getting an email from you or seeing a text from you doesn't matter. Trust me, it absolutely does. It matters a lot. Matters a lot.
Terry in Cross Plains, listening on WMDX, says you will be missed by all, Jane.
Oh, thanks, Terry.
Mark in Prairie du Sac on WMDX. Hi, Jane. Retirement is great, he says. Mark from the Sac. So
Yay,
I know
Mark.
you were soliciting some things this morning on what to do after retirement.
Well,
Any
I
big
just
winners?
thought it was so funny because that's the first thing that people ask you when you say, oh, I'm going to retire. And it's like, well, what are you going to do? What, do I have to do something? Can I just do nothing?
The point of retirement.
And I'm going to retire and I might just goof around. I'm not sure. Or I could follow my long-standing passion for astrophysics. No, I don't have a long-standing passion for astrophysics. But I don't know.
I know, right?
I don't know. There's I'm considering a podcast. Might do that.
Nice.
Might step back just for a little bit. I don't know. We'll have to see.
PJ on the stream on YouTube says, how about tutorials on using a squeegee mop?
I would be great on a squeegee mop. I could have like a squeegee mop channel for all your squeegee mop needs.
I mean, all these NIL deals now, how about an infomercial?
I could do that.
I'm
Absolutely.
not necessarily joking. You have the cachet. Think of all the people that know you in particularly in Southeast Wisconsin. I'm getting an endorsement deal.
Yeah,
You know, I cleaned up my basement with a squeegee mop. It could be yours for $29.99. But if you call right now, I'll send in 2 specialty squeegees along attachments for no extra cost.
I just think I want a channel that is nothing but squeegees. And just because I like the word, I think
squeegee
squeegee
queen.
is a word we need to say more often just because it's a happy word. All squeegees, all the time. Thank you. I'm going to, let me write that down. There's potential
right?
there.
Squeegee. The squeegee queen
The
of
squeegee
Milwaukee.
channel. Oh, yes.
Well, whatever you decide to do, I know it'll be spectacular. Or if you just say, you know what, damn it, I earned some time to myself, that's okay too.
Well, and my husband wants to keep working. He's going to keep working. He loves it. And so it's like good. As a friend of mine said, I married for better or worse, not for lunch. So, so if I'm going to be home, maybe he should still be gone from home.
Well, that's the best of all worlds, Jane. You don't have to work, and you've got your husband bringing in the dough.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's about darn time, right?
Well, and then I can practice on not poisoning him when I cook.
That
my
mushroom
goal.
soup recipe is on this way.
It's my goal.
Any big quick highlights? I mean, I know there are, but Matt and Aaron Air this week. People
We
should
have
be
Pat
listening for.
Kreitlow coming up tomorrow. We're going to talk to patriotic millionaires. Gosh, maybe really, really rich people should pay more money in taxes. What a wacko idea that is. We have a really, really rich person who's going to join us tomorrow and suggest that very thing.
We'll be listening, Jane, Matt and Aaron. One more from the YouTube channel. Ms. Artie says, quote, you have made our lives lovely. You will be missed more than imaginable.
Thank you
very
so
much, Artie.
much.
Thank you, Jane, Matt, and Aaron. It's been a great adventure and will continue to be through the end of this year. She'll be listening tomorrow morning from 9 until 11. Thank you, Jane.
See you later.
Hour 2 is straight ahead.
This is
Thanks, Jane.
92.7.
That was
Thank you, my
amazing.
guys.
That was fun.
That
Feel
was a
better.
lot of fun. I will.
Feel better.
I
All right, get
appreciate
some
it.
rest.
Thanks,
All right.
Amers. Thanks, Todd. See you later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Adios.
Shutdown drags on. The Trump administration informed a court it will abide by a judge's order to use emergency funds to pay out SNAP food assistance benefits. It will result in a partial payment for November. Democrats say they want to negotiate extending tax credits for the Affordable Care Act. Republicans say they will talk once the government reopens. Beth Dwyer is an ACA recipient and says her premiums will be 5 times more expensive. She blames both parties for the stalemate.
Republicans just don't care. And the Democrats, even if they do care, they're just not making the right moves in the right ways to get things back on track.
Expiring electric vehicle credits help move Tesla's inventory in the U.S., but in Europe, Tesla sales showed sharp drops in October, plunging 89% in Sweden and 31% in Spain. Sales were up, though, slightly in France. And fans are celebrating the L.A. Dodgers at a parade and rally this afternoon, their second straight World Series win. This is ABC News.
You're listening to 92.7 WMDX, Madison's home for the Maggie Dawn Show, Monday through Friday from 4 to 6 p.m.
For 92.7 WMDX News, I'm Savannah Tomei Olson. Wisconsin has a state flower, the wood violet, a state bird, the robin, and a state dance, of course, the polka. Now, lawmakers are considering designating a state microbe. Isabella Nieto reports.
Jo Handelsman is the director of the Wisconsin Institute for Discovery and a plant pathologist at UW-Madison. She testified before the state assembly, pushing for lawmakers to make bacterium Lactococcus lactis the Wisconsin state microbe. The bacterium is used in cheese making, particularly in the production of cheddar, camembert, Roquefort, and Colby cheese, which lawmakers have previously tried to make the state cheese. Handelsman says Wisconsin has a microbial economy, and alongside cheese, the growth of alfalfa, digestion of hay by cows, beer, sauerkraut, and bread are products of microbial processes. Wisconsin doesn't currently have an official state cheese, nor does it have an official state microbe. If the bill passes, the bacterium will be included in the Blue Book, the biennial guide to state government, alongside other state symbols like the state flower, state fish, and state soil. For Civic Media News, I'm Isabella Nieto.
And following up on a story we brought you a couple weeks ago, a bill meant to give women more accessible information about menopause has cleared its first hurdle. This bill would require the State Department of Health Services to create a resource page and pamphlet about menopause, just like they have pages about hundreds of other conditions.
No, I actually like that AI headline for once. Jane McNair, the farewell tour. I'll take that one.
I didn't use it, though. I'm saving that for when you actually have a tour with it.
Unanimously last week.
But I mean, that's one that I'd accept that.
I'm Savannah.
No, I did. Mondays with Matt Nair, Jane's big announcement.
WMDX News.
The Bucks in Indy. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. NBA, the Bucks take on their rival, the Pacers, in Indiana tonight. It's the first time Bucks center Miles Turner will face his former team.
The next time we see you, we'll be in Indiana. Gonna go there.
At this point, anything I say will and can be used against me in a court of law. So I'm just looking forward to coming back to a place that I've been for 10 years.
College hoops, the Badgers at home against Campbell University. Last week we told you that forward Elijah Gray, a transfer from Temple, was dropped from the Wisconsin men's team. ESPN reporting now Gray may be involved in that investigation regarding gambling by both college and NBA players. NFL, the Packers lose to the Panthers 16-13. ESPN reporting tight end Tucker Kraft suffered a season-ending torn ACL in his right knee.
Is Tucker's injury serious?
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
How do you overcome him?
It's going to be tough. It is what it's football, and the other guys are going to have to step up.
That's Packers head coach Matt LaFleur with Sports on Mike Clemens.
Local news, real voices, and conversations that count. That's Madison. And that's 92.7 WMDX.
I'm meteorologist Rodney Price. Enjoy the sunshine for your Monday afternoon. West winds, though, up to 30. High temperatures warming into the upper 50s. Overnight clouds set to increase. We'll drop back into the mid-30s. On Tuesday, turning mostly sunny and highs near 60. It's 60 at our studios.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Join me, Tom Hartman.
Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum. That's Tom Hartman music.
Oh.
Anyway, 30 seconds.
Like, what Summers doing? Has he lost his mind? Do I have to go in there and take the controls?
From the Civic Media World Headquarters in Madison, Wisconsin, it's the Todd Allbaugh Show. And now, pursuing truth wherever it may lead, here's your host, Todd Allbaugh.
Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network and streaming worldwide on the Civic Media app. Good afternoon, everybody. Todd Allbaugh, along with Mr. Aaron Summers, our producer and engineer on the board. It is 6 minutes past the hour of 3 o'clock on this Monday, November 3rd, 2025. It is a great day to be a Wisconsinite. Welcome into hour number 2 of the big broadcast here, downtown Madison Civic Media World Headquarters, intersection of State and Fairchild on what is a beautiful Boy George Day here across the state of Wisconsin. Blue skies, Sommers. Let's turn the camera on quick. Maybe we can see no, it's still a little too bright to see the actual blue sky. Well, that's fine. The sun is at a weird angle now.
Yeah, a little overexposed.
Well, and a lot of people have said during my broadcasting career that I was overexposed, just too much of Todd. But yes, but still a lovely day. Look at, we had a bike rider there, bike rider in downtown.
Stopping at the light.
Obeying the stoplight.
2 of them stopping at the light.
Nicely done, bike riders.
It's like a double rainbow.
Exactly what it is. Yeah, that's one of my pet peeves. I have nothing against the bikers as long as they obey traffic signals. That's my only thing. Many thanks to Jane Matnair for being on in hour 1. And in case you missed it, host of Matnair and Air every morning, 9 to 11, with her co-host Greg Bach, made the big announcement on her show today that she is retiring. Her decision, by the way. This is not a, we'd really like you to think about retirement. And then they say, I think I could go a couple more years. No, this is, it's nothing like that. This was Jane's decision. She's known about this for quite a while.
If anything, it's the opposite.
Yes.
Where it's like,
yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
We'd be happy
right.
to keep you.
Yes, that's well said, Summers. She would be welcome to stay on this network as long as she wants. But hey, you know what? You have a full career, 40 plus years in this business. She has earned the right to leave on her own accord and do other great things. And as she said, we're not going to let her get away that easy. She's going to take that microphone with her, and we will have her back on this program. So not the end of hearing Jane Matnair on this show, but certainly the end of her daily show coming up on the 12th of December. So.
I'm very grateful we'll still get to continue to hear her.
Me too.
Before the show, Todd and I were chatting, and I said, I really wish that we worked in the same building as Jane.
Yeah, because we don't get to see her in person enough. I mean, it's lovely to see her over a camera. But I know, because I've had the honor and pleasure of getting to travel with Jane, and she's a lovely and fun. She's as real and funny in person traveling around as she is on the air. And also really smart, too. Knows a lot of stuff. So many thanks to Jane. We'll continue to have her on here the last 6-7 weeks of her broadcasting, her regular broadcasting career. She may still do some other things, podcasts or whatever, as we said, coming back on this program periodically as well. Coming up on this program today here in a bit, Doc Rivers, normally speaking on sports, right? Head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, spoke out over the weekend on SNAP benefits, the ending of those. By the way, the Trump administration announced today that they're going to partially restore those, but there's not a timeline. So look, I'm not getting too excited about anything on the positive side until I see something happen. But at least they made an announcement they're going to try to restart partial SNAP benefits. But Doc Rivers spoke out over the weekend, and we'll hear from him, and also, again, tell you about some people, Wisconsinites, who are stepping up on the positive side. People putting the politics and say, hey, I'll let the politicians fight it out. We're just good old Wisconsinites going to help out our friends and neighbors. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. Jim in Brookfield. Hi, Todd. What is a Boy George Day? Jim in Brookfield. Thank you so very much for asking. It comes from my former colleague at WRCO, Brian Kennedy, WRCO news director. And on a day like today, we would have the 4 o'clock or the 4:30 afternoon news. And it was like a short, just like a 3-minute, 5-minute newscast. And on a day like today, and Brian Kennedy would do the weather. And I remember him saying a couple of clear skies like this, perfect temperatures. He would say a gorgeous, I guess he would say gorgeous George, a gorgeous George day, because he was a boxer, gorgeous George.
Oh, and I guess so over time it has morphed to gorgeous Boy George.
And I morphed it into gorgeous Boy George.
Different person.
Different person. But same idea. You see, because you can't spell gorgeous without George. So it's a kind of, sort of.
Kind of.
The way I spell. But the bottom line, Jim, it's a gorgeous day, all right? That's the bottom line. Brian Kennedy, WRCO News. We should have just ended the show right there. But no, it's 11 minutes past the hour of 3 o'clock. Time once again for a Wisconsin fun fact. Let's go.
Oh, Wisconsin, land of beauty, with your hillsides and your plains.
That's right. Time once again for another Wisconsin fun fact. On November 3rd, 1911, the first vocational school opened in Racine. Reportedly, there was one Kringle to commemorate the occasion, and 3 people were hospitalized as a massive throng climbed over one another to get to their piece. I did not know that. It's true about the thing in Racine.
At least the first thing.
Yeah, the first part was true.
Stay safe out there, guys. Don't
safe.
skimp on the favorite pastries.
Right, and you got O&H Kringle down there in Racine, one of our great civic media sponsors. We've had their Kringle on the show. We've taken it with us with Jane and Greg and I when we traveled around the state. So people love their Kringle, especially down there in Racine.
Nothing beats a fresh Kringle.
Nothing beats
except more fresh Kringle.
Can't beat it with a stick, as Ken Lewis is fond of saying. Now, this is great. I want to get right into this. Because just when you think we, the Wisconsin sports fans, cannot love Giannis Antetokounmpo anymore, the Greek freak, as several people know him, part owner of the Milwaukee Brewers, great humanitarian. His wife's a great humanitarian. He told this story last week or over the weekend after a Bucks game. He is out there keeping us safe. You understand? This is a real story told by Giannis Antetokounmpo about his visit to a pick and save.
Did you get the black eye today?
No, actually, I was in pick and save, right? So while I was checking out my grocery, there was this guy that was about to snatch a purse from a lady. So I was like, hey, man, what are you doing? Stop. So I went and grabbed him, and he kind of turned and elbowed me in the eye. But then I grabbed him, put him on the floor, took the purse, gave it to the lady. And then the lady was safe. I paid for her groceries, too, because she was in shock and stuff. The police came and took the guy, took him into custody. So after that, I just went back home, did some treatment, and took a nap.
Wow.
That is one of the best stories I've ever heard. And the reporter asked him, they said, how did you get the black eye? Because Giannis had a black eye. And they asked, how did you get the black eye? And Giannis tells this story. Isn't it fantastic that Giannis shops himself at Pick and Save? He hasn't got people to do that. Just like the Packers up in Green Bay, Giannis Antetokounmpo is out there shopping at Pick and Save. Not at Trader Joe's. He's shopping at Pick and Save. And so he's there, and he sees some dude stealing a purse from a woman. And he goes over and puts the guy in a headlock, and the guy elbows Giannis, and so Giannis gives him a swift one and gets the purse back. The authorities come, arrest the would-be purse snatcher, and then Giannis pays for the woman's groceries because she's so shook it up about the whole thing. And then he ends the story by saying, and, after that, I went home and I took a nap.
This attempted perpetrator does not have a very strong survival instinct.
No.
Because there are multiple times in that story where if you're thinking of doing some funny business, you look over and you see, even if you don't know who Giannis is, you see big guy.
Right.
You're like, maybe now's not the time. Then big guy tries to put you in a headlock. Don't fight back. Just don't resist. You're only going to get hurt. At least that's my instinct.
Right. I mean, the guy, the perp, as they say, the perpetrator, the perp was not very smart.
Clearly.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, I've never seen him in person, but those I have, obviously he's very, very tall, but there's not like an ounce of fat on this guy. He has like an amazing physicality to his muscles and just, but he also has a heart of gold, obviously. And so, no, you don't get in a fight with Giannis.
He is a freight train.
Right? And also the fact that to Giannis it was so matter of fact. That's why
it is great.
You know that it's not made up because, I was down shopping at Pick and Save and, I saw this guy try to steal a purse. I wouldn't let it happen. And then after all that, he just goes home and takes a nap.
Whatever you got to do.
I love everything about Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Me too.
He just seems, I'm not like I say, I never met him. I don't know him, but he just seems like an enormously nice person, good-hearted person, somebody who loves Milwaukee, somebody who is despite reports on ESPN, is invested in Milwaukee. And look, none of us know what tomorrow's going to bring, right? And so I'm going to take him at his word that he is, for now, today, as we sit here, invested in staying the Bucks in Milwaukee. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? But this guy loves Milwaukee because a lot of people forget very few NBA teams wanted to draft or take Giannis when he was a kid. They thought he was this tall, gangly guy, that was from Greece, had a funny accent. But the Bucks took a chance. And, the rest is history. And Giannis has repaid that kindness. And repaid the loyalty, which is something that I really love. 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. If you want to weigh in on Giannis and his grocery store visit to Pick and Save. That's the other thing you got to love about Wisconsin. You go to Green Bay, you can see Packers shopping. You go to Milwaukee, Pick and Save, and you can see Giannis Antetokounmpo shopping. Let's go to the phone lines. Charles in Milwaukee on WAUK. Charles, about a minute or so left. Go ahead.
Hey, so when the Bucks won, after the Bucks won a championship, when Giannis had went to Chick-fil-A and got the chicken nuggets, my sister was at a gas station and was like, man, I wonder if Giannis is in there. Surely enough, he was. And she went to go run toward him. A bodyguard pushed her back, and he told the bodyguard, the security person, to step back, and left and came up and gave my sister a big hug.
Wow, that's super cool. So he really is that nice a person based on your sister's interaction.
Yes. Yep.
Wow, that's amazing. Thanks, Charles. Really appreciate you. Thanks for calling in. That's part of why we love being Wisconsinites, right?
Same thing with Jordan Love, by all accounts.
Yeah. I mean, his birthday, even though the Packers, didn't do real well in the field yesterday, it was Jordan Love's birthday, turned 27 years old. And all these people are making analogies that Bart Starr, Brett Favre, and Aaron Rodgers were all 27 when they won their first Super Bowl for the Packers. And Jordan Love turned 27 yesterday. They lost the game, but according to Michael Parsons' brother, Jordan Love took the entire team out and paid for dinner last night.
Nice.
How about that for a guy? Come on back. We'll play a little What's Worse and talk or hear from Giannis's coach, Doc Rivers, on SNAP benefits and what he thinks going on in Wisconsin. Come on back.
Madison, where the cheese is sharp and the vibes are chill.
Can we come in and read Roger and Steven's points text?
Sure.
Okay, I have the song.
Fresh, homemade, and the best prices in town. CY1 review said best tacos I've ever had in my life. Elsa's on Hutto. You won't be hungry, just happy.
Herbal Aspect has landed. That's right. Madison's go-to
That's
cannabis
fantastic.
destination
Well
was a
done,
brand new
Roger.
location in
Well
Sun
done.
Prairie.
Wait, 4 locations? That's a high level of convenience.
With 3 Madison locations and now Sun Prairie, a great cannabis experience is always close by. Our expert staff is here to help, whether you walk in, call, or order online. Mention Radio 420 and get a special discount. So stop by Herbal Aspect in Sun Prairie, because great cannabis isn't just a pipe dream.
Nice. I'm rolling over now.
Herbal Aspect.
Autumn awesomeness awaits.
Now, here's a
Courtesy
guy
of
in a
David
chicken
J. Frank
suit.
Landscape, introducing fall porchscapes, professionally designed decor,
Here's a great. You can't see it.
delivered to your
Is this a
front
great
door.
example of? Is he
Installation and
actually
removal
dressed
included.
this way,
A hassle-free way
or
to
is he
bring
still
fall flair to
hung
your
out from
home or
Halloween?
business. And consider a fall cleanup to preserve the beauty and health of your yard.
You never
There's
know.
more to a good
You never
cleanup
know.
than raking leaves. Call the experts at David J. Frank at
Oh, I think Todd's about to-
608-283-9276 or
Oh,
visit
there it is.
davidjfrank.com.
If you love animals and want to help in Dane County, shop,
Yeah,
donate,
just
or volunteer
walking around
at
in
one
a
of
chicken
Dane
suit.
County Humane Society's thrift stores. They sell
There's-
gently used.
there's a
and
guy in a chicken suit. I hope he's still there in a minute when we come back.
I know. There's a
All
guy in a
proceeds support
chicken
the
suit.
comfort
and care of
With a
animals
backpack.
in need.
Oh, he's leaving.
Dane
Darn it,
County
he
Humane
left.
Society
He left.
thrift stores.
Oh.
Shop thrift store
Well, at least
west
people on the
Watts
stream got to
Road
see.
and thrift
Yes,
store east
people on the
High
stream got
Quadrant
to see.
Boulevard. Visit GiveShelter.org.
If you see him again, let me know. I'll flash the camera back on.
Fantastic.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable
chicken
power
man
and peace
returns.
of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power
30
to your
seconds.
home.
Thank you.
So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPG.
Come a chameleon. You come and go, you come and go. Love would be easy if your colors were like my dream. Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green.
Welcome back to the Todd Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network. 22 past the hour of 3 o'clock on Monday, November 3rd. That's what I'm talking about. Boy George. A little come a chameleon. Roger, listening in Stevens Point on WFHR, our great station out of Wisconsin Rapids. I've got earlier in the show, I said it was a Boy George gorgeous day. It was a take on Gorgeous George kind of day. Anyway, Roger, quick thinker, says, did you hear Boy George's pet lizard bit 3 people? He needs a calmer chameleon.
I thought that was pretty good.
That was hilarious. Well done, Roger. I love those kind of jokes. That's a calmer chameleon. Well, let me guess. Summers. Let's play this. When did that song come out? Karma Chameleon. I'm going to say
Karma Chameleon.
Karma. Whatever. I'm going to say 1986.
Nope.
Oh, darn.
1983.
Really? 83?
You were close.
I thought it was while I was in high school. So 83, I would have been in middle school. Wow. Or maybe Bob Nugent, 6th grade. I saw Bob Nugent at a funeral recently, but he's doing fine. He is my 6th grade teacher, Robert Nugent. Great guy out there in Richland. We're going to be in Richland County on Friday, doing the show out there at WRCE, talking about driftless, the driftless economy. Also, Brandon Ewing, set your VCRs. Brandon Ewing, brother of Brady Ewing, is going to be on the show on Friday as well. Brady usually comes on, 2-time Big Ten champion, 3 years in the NFL. He has another appointment. He's going to be in the woods deer hunting. I've been left. I've been left for a deer hunter. But no, this will be great because Brandon is equally as talented high school basketball coach, and he's going to be in talking about sports and also kind of the impact sports has on kids in the Driftless area. So that'll be great as well. All right, 25 minutes past the hour of 3 o'clock. Time once again for What's Worse. Let's go.
This or that, this or that. Then, of course, the choice is yours. You can get with this.
Time once again for What's Worse. Nothing to give away, no prize money involved, but it is your chance to have your voice heard on all 10 News Talk sports stations across the state of Wisconsin. All right, this, in the words of Mike Lucas, timely indeed. Really is. Because you have to look at you really need for the people watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, on the stream. The graphic says it all. Today's category, disappointment or frustration. What's worse? Disappointment or frustration. What's worse? And the graphic, the card for this, CP has outdone himself. Disappointment is a goofy picture of Wisconsin head football coach Luke Fickell. He is representing disappointment. And on the other side is head coach of your Green Bay Packers, Matt LaFleur, who represents frustration. So, disappointment or frustration. 855-752-4842, 855-752-4842, or you could text us at the old Civic Media app. If you don't have it, download it today on your Apple or Android device. Simply go to your app store, go to your search bar, type in Civic, C-I-V-I-C, Media. It'll pop up, cute little CM logo. Click on that. Takes less than a minute. It is free. It's what CBS's Gail King calls a deal. The Civic Media app. Gail was not at the desk this morning.
That's concerning.
I hope it's just she's, taking some time. I hope she's not renegotiating her contract. Anyway, disappointment or frustration. That's the category. What's worse today? 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. And I can tell you that over the years, I have been the source for other people of both these things.
Well, who hasn't?
Disappointment and frustration. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
One of the worst things you can hear.
Mm-hmm. What's worse, disappointment or frustration? 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. Give us a call or a text.
One thing that is helpful for me in figuring these out, because these are so close, is the dictionary definitions. So here.
Oh, very good. We go right to the dictionary desk.
From the Oxford Dictionary for both of these. Disappointment is sadness or displeasure caused by the non-fulfillment of one's hopes or expectations. So it's more sadness, more being resigned, whereas frustration is, quote, the feeling of being upset or annoyed, especially because of inability to change or achieve something. So very similar, but according to the definitions, disappointment is more sadder, you're feeling resigned, whereas frustration is more anger.
I think that's really good, and that represents our graphic card because I think people are more resigned to the fact that the Badger football team is just not going to get better. Where with the Packers and LaFleur, there's more disappointment or more frustration because you know that they have the ability to do better.
Right.
So well done in the old Allbaugh Show graphics department there. Matt, listening on WMDX in Madison, but Matt is in Middleton. Matt says, frustration is worse as I tend to break stuff and get very razzled as disappointment is part of life and easier
to get over.
Easier to get over, I think. All right, that's very insightful of Matt. Well done. Do you ever break things when you're like frustrated?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I ever have, except maybe when I was like really little. I'm sure small child I did.
Whatever, sure. Frustration or disappointment? What's worse? 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. Take your phone calls, more texts, and talk about SNAP benefits in the state of Wisconsin. And hear from head coach of the Bucks, Doc Rivers. He's getting into it. You'll hear his comments. But first, a little farm news with Pam Yonke and her team, Midwest Farm Report. It's the Allbaugh Show across Wisconsin, along with Boy George on the Civic Media Radio Network.
MDX in Mad City. More lakes, more cheese, more fun.
Talking about break stuff
Local
makes me want to
news,
play the
real
song
voices,
Break Stuff by
and
Limp
conversations
excuse me,
that
by
count.
Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit, yeah.
It's an awful song. It's so bad.
Let's not play.
It's hilarious. I love it.
The U.S. Meat Export Federation is pleased to see
But no,
some
I'm not going to.
development
It's
in
also-
Asia that could open
I feel like
more
if you made
doors for
there might be a
US
radio-friendly
pork and
version
beef.
of it,
I'm
but
Stephanie Hoff, along with you. This is the
let's
Midwest
see.
Farm Report.
If I remember correctly,
President
the
Trump
beginning
held
is
meetings with key Asian
it's
leaders
just one of
last
those
week,
days where you
leading
don't want to wake up,
progress
everything
in trade
sucks, everybody's
negotiations with several
effed.
countries.
You don't really know
This
why, but you
includes
want to
Malaysia,
justify ripping someone's head
Cambodia,
off.
Thailand, and Vietnam. U.S. Meat Export Federation President and CEO Dan Hallstrom has the details.
Starting with Malaysia, the U.S. historically has faced numerous non-tariff trade barriers into the Malaysian region. We're excited to see some of those barriers eliminated. U.S. pork has made strides in recent years in Malaysia, and there's room for further growth. But I think the larger potential is for U.S. beef. Similar situation in Vietnam. There, the issue is tariff. Relief on tariffs is going to be mandatory so we can compete on a level playing field. So hopefully this is the first step in obtaining that. Thailand, another one with prohibitively high tariff rates that has also been noted.
U.S. Meat Export Federation President and CEO Dan Hallstrom joining us. He says that whole Southeast Asia region is significant for U.S. red meat. Stick around. We'll take a look at closing markets next.
Take the Midwest Farm Report wherever you go with the Midwest Farm Report app. Get real-time updates that matter to Wisconsin agriculture and food production. Connect directly with the Midwest Farm Report team, stream your favorite farm podcasts, and share your ag photos right from your phone with one easy tap. From the fields to your feed, stay current with the Midwest Farm Report app. It's free and available now for Apple and Android. Download the Midwest Farm Report app today.
You'll want to book this adventure with me and
Giannis's
holiday
story
vacations.
might not
We're
be
headed
real.
to London, Wales,
It's hard
and
to
the
tell.
Lake District, March 22nd through the 31st.
I'm
Starting
saying
in
it
London
is.
with a guided
All right.
tour on to the Churchill War Rooms. We'll continue with immersive visits to Ludlow Farm
I'm
Shop and
saying
Lower
it
Drayton
is.
Farm.
Whether or not,
Then
I mean,
relive
if
the
it's not
legacy of
real,
Fab
that's still just
Four
as
at the
good because
Beatles
he's
Touring
funny.
Museum.
So, like,
Finishing up
I think
with a
I'm
tour
not
of
joking
Corey
around.
Bank
I
Mill.
actually think it
Find
is.
details at holidayvacations.com. Keyword Pam to request a brochure, watch a travel show, and book this tour.
On the close Monday from Chicago, December cash and new crop corn finished up 2 3/4 cents at $4.34 1/4. Cash soybeans closed up 19 cents at $11.34 1/4. November 2026 new crop soybeans are up 7.5 cents, closing at $11.13 1/2. And July 2026 new crop wheat closed 9 3/4 cents higher at $5.77 a bushel. While grain markets are up, fluid milk contracts are down. December class 3 milk is down 23 cents at $16.99 a hundredweight. The January contract is down 6 cents at $16.54. For the Midwest Farm Report, I'm Stephanie Hoff.
Your neighbors are talking. Leaders are deciding. Madison's story unfolds daily on 92.7 WMDX.
I'm meteorologist Rodney Price. Enjoy the sunshine for your Monday afternoon. West winds, though, up to 30. High temperatures warming into the upper 50s. Overnight clouds set to increase. We'll drop back into the mid-30s. On Tuesday, turning mostly sunny and highs near 60. Currently 59 degrees.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
What's going on with Earl Ingram?
The No Kings rallies across this nation, they reminded me of, it was an organization called the Tea Party. Senior citizens were a part of the Tea Party. And there are a lot of senior citizens involved in the No Kings rallies.
Listen to the Civic Media exclusive podcast, What's Going On with Earl Ingram.
having fun doing it. Welcome back to the Todd Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network. 35 minutes now past the hour of 3 o'clock on Monday, November 3rd, 2025. Aaron Zommer's on the board. Glad to have you along. Now here you go. Before we get back into what's worse, news you can use. Now, there's a lot of networks and stations out there giving you a jibber jabber on politics, whatever, anything. Here now, news you can use. All right? And somehow, I know how it happened. I've been tagged as an influencer, which I'm not, by Culver's. Because I posted because I posted that one thing up in Viroqua where the Chick-fil-A guys drove in with their big Chick-fil-A vans and ate at Culver's, and I videotaped it and posted it. And, let's be honest, I know people on the inside at Culver's, and after that, they tagged me as like an influencer for Culver's. So I get some inside information once in a while. Now, I've just received the inside information, Zombers.
Are you allowed to share this?
Yes. Yes. For a limited time only, at Culver's now, Wisconsin cheddar cheese and mac side.
Ooh.
You can get a side of Wisconsin cheddar cheese and mac, limited time only at Culver's.
This is news.
That's why you tune into the Todd Allbaugh Show. Because you get news you can use.
Well, I know what I'm doing for dinner Wednesday.
I was just going to say, I know what I'm doing for dinner tonight. I'll report back tomorrow. Anyway, we're right in the middle of what's worse, disappointment or frustration. There'll be no disappointment with that macaroni and cheese, I'll tell you that. Disappointment or frustration. 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. Let's go to the phone lines. Dolores, listening in Madison on WMDX. Dolores, disappointment or frustration, what's worse?
Well, I was very disappointed this weekend after the Toronto loss.
Yeah, me too.
I was really looking forward for the win.
I hear you.
And disappointment for me is worse.
Are you by nature a Blue Jays fan, or you just didn't like the Dodgers?
Well, I don't like the Dodgers, and I was rooting for Toronto because the Dodgers, took the chance for the Brewers to go to the major league. So I was rooting really hard for Toronto, and I thought, who knows, if the Toronto wins, they may have 100% tariffs, because they won. But
I'm with you, Dolores.
They don't have to worry about tariffs, extra tariffs, because they lost.
I'm with you, Dolores, all the way on that. I appreciate you listening. Thanks for calling in, Dolores of Madison. 855-752-4842. Let's go back to the phone lines. Ollie, up in the North Woods, listening to WBZH up in beautiful Hayward, Wisconsin. Ollie, disappointment or frustration, what's worse?
Well, you said something that made me think that you had been the source of both frustration and disappointment.
For other people, yes, that's 100% true.
Yes. Well, I realized that I was the disappointment.
For who?
Because I was the three-strike baby,
Oh, really?
And my younger sister was the frustration because she was the last baby and she still wasn't a boy.
Oh, now come on, Al. I bet your parents loved you, but sometimes.
So Dad had to be stuck with 5 girls.
5 girls.
Outnumbered by 5 girls in the family.
Wow. Now I feel bad for my brother-in-law, his wife, my sister, and 2. So he's the only male in a house of 3 females. But boy, being 5, that trying to get to the bathroom would just be terrible.
That's right.
I appreciate you, Ollie. Have a great afternoon up there in the Northwoods. Appreciate your call.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
What's worse, disappointment or frustration? 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. Off the stream on YouTube, PJ says, disappointment. I knew from the beginning that Luke Fickell was a bad choice for the Badgers. Disappointed that UW hired him. Because that's on the card, if you're watching on the stream, Luke Fickell representing disappointment and Matt LaFleur representing frustration. And Zommer's definitions earlier went right along with that.
Right, where disappointment is more of a sad, resigned reaction to not achieving a goal, whereas frustration is more of an angry, actively upset reaction
Because you
to
know
not
they could
achieving
do better.
something. Right.
Yeah. Kurt in Eau Claire, listening on WCFW, the tap in Eau Claire, Chippewa Falls, simply says frustration is worse. Thanks, Kurt. Appreciate you listening up there in the Chippewa Valley. Len in Madison on WMDX says, personally, frustration is usually worse for me as I often self-directed, and my disappointment is usually a sad, empathetic feeling about others. That's very deep, but very good. Tom, listening in New Berlin on WAUK, says frustration is worse. Disappointment you can learn from. Anger never goes well. Well, that's a good way to look at that. What else do we have here? Anything? I think we're caught up, more or less. All right, very good. Zaber's frustration or disappointment, what's worse?
I think I'm going to say frustration is worse because that active anger, it can be more destructive. I don't mean I'm going and breaking stuff, but it can, it's easier to say things you don't mean if you're frustrated. And as somebody who has had diagnosed like depression for a long time, I know how to deal with disappointment and work through that easier.
I'm going to, for me personally, I'm going to say disappointment is worse because your definition was helpful because it's just a resigned feeling. And usually I get disappointed in people because I expect the best of people and then they let you down. And then you're just resigned. Well, this isn't going anywhere. And so with frustration, I might in the moment be hard, but I know there's potential that things will work out or it could be improved or it could get better. But disappointment, you're just like, yeah, I'm just resigned to the fact that this is where we're at.
I may have that perspective on a lot of things right now. But,
All right, that's a great another edition of What's Worse. Tune in tomorrow in hour number 2 for another edition. Want to move to SNAP benefits running out for most 700,000 Wisconsinites over the weekend. And different reports here this afternoon, by the way, on the Trump administration is looking at restarting at least a portion of those SNAP benefits. This, according to the Associated Press, this afternoon. One second, let me pull this up here for you. The Associated Press saying President Donald Trump's administration said today that it will partially fund SNAP benefits for November after 2 judges issued rulings requiring the government to keep the nation's largest food aid program running. U.S. Department of Agriculture, which oversees the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, had planned to freeze payments starting on November 1st because it said it could no longer keep funding during the governmental shutdown in Washington. Goes on to say program serves more than 1 in 8 Americans. And to step away from the story, we've learned, of course, our program and others, that there are lots of great folks across the state who are in agriculture, who are working retail jobs, who are working all kinds of jobs and trying to do whatever they can to support themselves, but still need a little extra help with SNAP benefits. It used to be called food stamps. Now it's called SNAP benefits. So the narrative that, it's just, quote unquote, lazy people using this, simply not true. Not true. And so here's why I'm not getting too excited about this right now, because it's the Trump administration. And they'll say a lot of stuff, as we heard on 60 Minutes last night, a lot of things to get people to believe certain things, but the proof is in the pudding. So forgive me if I'm a little not too excited about this announcement until I see something, proof is in the pudding. Here's something. Doc Rivers. We had Joe Thomas on, former Badger and NFL Hall of Famer in hour 1. We didn't have him on the show. We've had him on the show before, but we played his clip that he put out, his post on Instagram, Joe Thomas did over the weekend. Very calm, very thoughtful, very nonpartisan, but firmly calling out Donald Trump on trying to flood the U.S. beef market with Argentinian beef. And Joe Thomas says, look, as a guy who's been beef farming since 2018, simply not helpful, and in the long term is going to make things worse. Factual. And he's not a guy, Joe Thomas, that gets involved in a lot of politics. And again, to make clear, he wasn't overtly making it partisan political. He was just saying this is does not make sense. And now we have Doc Rivers, coach for the Milwaukee Bucks, who, again, normally doesn't get into partisan politics, but here were his comments over the weekend in Milwaukee, Doc Rivers, on SNAP benefits ending.
Hey, I don't want to get political, but I am. And this one is not political. It's the SNAP programs around the country, and especially in Wisconsin, because that's where I'm at right now, are going to get delayed. And this is for Republicans and Democrats. We're talking about kids not getting food, and that should never happen. I don't want to hear about people who are cheating the program and all that crap. A 6-year-old, 7-year-old kid is cheating nothing, and we are going to cheat the kids if we don't take care of this. And our Republicans and Democratic senators and the government have not done their jobs. And so the problem is the kids have to pay, and that's ridiculous, right? I think everyone, there's food banks, there's all kinds of places we can donate money. We should. I can tell you that. I'm telling my players to, I'm asking everyone to, and this should not be a political thing. This should not be about being a Republican or a Democrat right now. This is about our kids. And finally on that, truancy and hunger are the two biggest issues for kids learning in school, literally. They have proven that a kid can be in the worst area in the world, literally the worst area, but if he can just get to school and eat, he can learn. And so we have to make sure that we feed our kids. And
Doc
we
Rivers,
can grab all the other stuff, figure it out all later. But
Doc Rivers, head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, and applause to him for using his platform. Other people in influential places do this. First time I've heard it from a Bucks coach. So props to Doc Rivers and the Milwaukee Bucks for speaking out on this and calling it what it is.
I think he spoke very eloquently and said exactly what it is. This shouldn't be a partisan issue, and kids aren't cheating the system. We're cheating the kids if we don't give them food.
100%. And the fact that truancy and hunger are two of the biggest problems kids face. We've heard our friend Earl Ingram on this program talk about those same things. As someone who works with his community, who works in Milwaukee Public Schools, has said the same thing over the years on this network. This from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. We're going to come back and give you more details. Because, again, what can we do as Wisconsinites today to affect real change? Certainly making calls and sending emails to legislators, that's fine and that's important. But none of us, in my opinion, are going to really influence those people. But what we can do is what Doc Rivers said. Give cash to reputable food pantries and food banks. Go and volunteer. Drop off donations. We're going to tell you, for our listeners on WAUK in Milwaukee and Waukesha, where you can do that and find other places in your neck of the woods across the state. We're all in this together. Come on back. Give me details. It's the Todd Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network.
That impacts you and your community.
I think that was
from
very
the Midwest
well spoken.
Farm Report
He's a
throughout
great
your
guy.
day on
Well,
92.7
I don't know him, but
WM.
At least
Great
in regards
comments.
to this.
Great
Yeah.
comments.
When
Great
it comes
comments.
to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of active liver.
We ask a lot of our liver, so give it the support it deserves with an easy daily detox from Active Liver. Made with natural ingredients like turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke, Active Liver helps cleanse and protect your liver so you feel less bloated and more energized. Find Active Liver online at Amazon, Vitacost.com, or iHerb.com. Or pick it up today at CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite. When your liver is happy, your body is happy. Enjoy life to the fullest with Active Liver.
Got to take
Hey,
care of that
honey,
liver,
how was
Todd.
your day?
I know. My fatty liver.
Pretty good. Guess what? The boss asked me to find a place for the holiday party this year.
Oh, I know a place.
I think
that
Tom
Yes,
Hartman has some
right
liver
here.
supplements
We
that he
think so
recommends that you could
No,
look
wait,
into.
wait.
really?
No, not
In fact, I know
our
he does.
house.
Can I
Sugar
buy it with
River
crypto?
Pizza.
Yes, you can.
You told him they could be here, didn't you?
Yeah,
I'm
well-
sure you thought catering from Sugar
And you can
River
prevent
would be
home
just
equity
fine.
theft
Sure.
Yeah,
from
but
your home you
seen
don't
that
own.
huge room in the back of the Sugar River Pizza at their Sun Prairie location.
Yes.
It's ideal for a holiday party.
Well, yes.
Fabulous pizza, that pulled pork you love.
This article
pasta,
is
soup,
from
sandwiches.
October
Anyone can get
29th
exactly
by
what they
Anna
want.
Kleiber. I can send you the
Well, let me
link
call
if you
them
need
up.
it, but it's
You
entitled
said you
SNAP
like my meat.
Benefits are running out for
no,
almost
Sugar River Pizza
700,000
in Sun Prairie, that is a great idea. You're
Here's how you
brilliant.
can
Thanks,
help.
Plan your next office or
There's all
holiday
kinds of play,
party
like for
with
deer
Sugar River
hunters that want to
Pizza in
donate
Sun
deer.
Prairie.
Okay,
Get to
but we'll put that in the show notes,
sugarriverpizza.com
please.
/catering to book today.
What exactly is wrong with my meatloaf?
I like it. Most of the time,
Wait,
it's pretty
most
good.
of the time?
Well, most
Pretty
yeah,
good?
kind of, yeah.
As a fellow veteran, we understand what it means to serve on a team. A suicide on a team is devastating and a real risk for veterans. If you or someone you know is struggling, reach out now. Reach out, WIS.
We should have her back on the show sometime.
Local resources
Anna
available
Kleiber.
to you and your loved ones.
Paid for by Advancing a Healthier Wisconsin Endowment with support by the Medical College of Wisconsin, the War Memorial Center, and reachoutwis.org.
Busted Pencils, fully lettered education talk.
You know, one of those things, and speaking about AI, guess what I did? I used AI to prepare for the show today, Johnny.
30 seconds.
Of course I did. I got it together, put up a little outline. You know, the suggested title, AI, Apocalypse or Opportunity?
Welcome back to the Todd Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network, where it is now 8 minutes before the hour of 4 o'clock. At the top of the hour, ABC or CBS Radio News, depending upon which of our great stations you're listening to, followed by a check of weather. Our great sports reporter, Mike Clemens, is in beyond the loss yesterday by the Packers, which was rough, to say the least. Much more concerning, in my opinion, is the loss of Tucker Kraft, great running back for the Pack, out for the season now, as the Packers confirmed this afternoon that he has a torn ACL. He will miss the remainder of the season. So Mike Clemens, nobody covers the Packers better than our own Mike Clemens. He'll continue to bring us the latest on that. And, of course, the Wisconsin men's basketball team, the Badgers, kick off the regular season tonight at the Kohl Center just down the street from where we are at right now. 6:30 pregame show, 7 o'clock for the tip-off for the Kohl Center. The always tough Campbell Camels are in town. Now watch me being smart. They'll probably knock Wisconsin off tonight. I don't think so, but you never know. You never know. That's their mascot, the Camels. And I'm hoping, just like the Zor Shrine Circus, that they come in with the Zor Shriners with their little hats with the fez hats and the tassels, and they come in riding a camel. That'd be great.
That would be beautiful.
It would be. I'd be all for it. You can hear the game tonight on WRCE in Richland Center, WFHR in Wisconsin Rapids, and Zommers, I forget, Amory, is it? I believe as well. Maybe.
I'll check.
Anyway, I'll get check. You can also find it on the Civic Media app for free. So go to WRCE, WFHR tonight, 6:30. Matt LePay and Brian Butch on the call. I think the Badgers are going to have a great year. Yes, it's WLAK as Zommers helps me out in Amory as well. So Amory, Richland Center, and Wisconsin Rapids, or on one of those stations for free on the Civic Media app. I think the Badgers, I feel good. I think they're going to surprise some people. Not ready to say they're going to compete necessarily for the regular season crown, although I think they'll be in that top 4 regular season category like they usually are. I think they could make a deep run in the tournament. Harder to make these kind of predictions or look ahead with all the NIL and transfer and everything else. But I'm going to say that Badgers get to at least the Sweet 16 this year and maybe beyond. So that is my prediction We'll see if it holds true. Talking about SNAP benefits here in Wisconsin. Oh, then after Mike Clemens in the sports report, stay tuned on Maggie Dawn from 4 until 6, followed by Pete Schwaba and Nightlight from 6 until 8. So SNAP benefits running out over the weekend for about 700,000 Wisconsinites from all different vocations and parts of the state. Trump administration saying this afternoon, according to the Associated Press, that they're going to restore partial benefits, whatever that means. And I'm just not getting too excited about it until I see results. So I'm going to assume that until I see otherwise, SNAP benefits are not enforced or not available right now. So it's up to each of us across the state to do our part to try to help out our friends and neighbors. And here now, a great article we put in the show notes. Sommers will have it for you from Anna Kleiber from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel over the weekend. SNAP benefits are running out. Here's how you can help. And there are all kinds of great places where you can donate non-perishable food items in Milwaukee County. For our listeners on WAUK, Milwaukee, Waukesha area, you got City Hall, the County Courthouse, the Zeidler, Municipal Building, the Marsha P. Coggs Health and Human Services Center, Hillview Hall, Fiserv Forum. Talk about the Bucks helping out. Heard from the head coach, Doc Rivers, earlier. All Milwaukee Public Schools, all Milwaukee Police Department districts, all City of Milwaukee Public Library branches, and Mason Temple Church. And now this goes for also Kinship Community Center is seeing a big demand for food right now in the Milwaukee area. And I think for a lot of us, whether we're living in small towns or large, either it's a church or it's a community organization that runs a food pantry. And people say, well, what should I be? What's acceptable? And here now they put together Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Here are proteins that are yes items. Canned or pouched tuna, salmon or chicken, canned beans, dried beans and lentils, nut butter, peanut butter, almond butter, etc., nuts and seeds, although you might want to separate those out, just for people allergies, canned soup, stew, chili, and curry, beef jerky, fruits and vegetables, canned or dried fruit in juice, water, not syrup, canned tomatoes, tomato sauce and paste, applesauce. These are all things that you should or can donate to food pantry. Rice, pasta, oats, cereal, popcorn kernels. Pantry supplies like cooking oil, spice, herb blends, condiments, coffee or tea, honey. Baking ingredients like flour, sugar, and also some food banks, not also check, accept personal care or household items. Says, while these aren't covered by food assistance programs like SNAP, many people struggling with food insecurity also struggle to afford personal care and household items. Now, that's really important. You got babies, diapers. You have women that might need feminine products. You've got toothpaste, deodorant for both men and women. So don't forget things like that as well.
Also, a quick note from one of my friends has a family member who works at a food pantry. Check with your local food pantry, ask them, but many times donating money is the best thing you can do because they have access to special bulk pricing.
Great point, Summers. Also, here are things these are things don't donate to food pantries. Things that need refrigeration, obviously expired food, leftovers, baked goods, because baked goods don't have a long shelf life. So also deer hunters, you can donate to the deer donation program and your ground venison as well. So don't forget that as we're in bow season and soon to be gun deer season across the state of Wisconsin as well. Many thanks to Jane Matnair. Matnair on air every morning from 9 until 11. We'll be back tomorrow with Brittany Carloni from Wisconsin to watch, looking ahead to, the 2026 elections and much more. For Zommers, I'm Todd Allbaugh saying thanks for joining us. Whatever you're fighting for, whatever you believe in, do not give up. Keep banging your drum. Stay tuned. Maggie Dawn is next.
All right.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Adios.